Oh hey, welcome back. Have you ever wondered if you can turn a Jazzmaster body into a Jaguar? If you have, you've probably seen that everyone online tells you not to do it. Well, I decided to do it anyway, and this is how it turned out. I used this guitar in my last video about the High Spirit Guitars offset bridge, and it got quite a lot of attention and comments. So today, we're going to check out my attempt to build a custom shop guitar for £1,000. Before any of you that actually own beautiful custom shop instruments get too offended that I'm suggesting that I could build a guitar as nice as a custom shop guitar, I'm not necessarily saying that. Let's take a second to understand what inspired this guitar, and then I'll get into exactly what it is. Before we get into it, I just want to say a big thank you and welcome to all of you who have joined the channel recently, particularly since the last video. Since the last video on the High Spirit Bridge, we have finally reached the 500 subscriber milestone. So thank you so much for all of your support. I'm really trying to up the quality and the frequency of the videos that I make. And I'm now aiming to upload a new video every other week. It's quite a tall order with working full time and home life commitments too, but I'm really keen on continuing to get the channel growing and to making cool offset guitar content for all of you. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you enjoy it, give me some feedback in the comments below, and share it with your offset guitar nerd friends. The more feedback I get on each video, the more easily I'll be able to tailor my future content to what you offset guitar nerds are looking for. Alright then, so on to the inspiration behind this guitar. I mean, I don't need much of an excuse to build a parts guitar. This is the 7th parts guitar that I've built in 13 years. The reason I love building parts guitars so much is that you can come up with a really unique and original idea, and you get to make that come into fruition. And you get a guitar that has all your kind of favourite features and custom specs that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. There were two main particular sources of inspiration for this build though. The first one is that I saw a picture of a Fender Custom Shop limited edition Relic Jazzmaster in aged black Paisley on Instagram. And I fell in love with that guitar, but I knew that I would never be able to afford it. I keep trying to convince my wife that next year for my 30th birthday, it would be a reasonable time to have a midlife crisis and spend thousands of pounds on a beautiful custom shop Fender Jazzmaster or Jaguar. I'm still working on that, she needs more convincing. So knowing that was probably unlikely, the other major source of inspiration for this was being gradually seduced by the beautiful sparkle and floral Jazzmaster bodies that were being listed regularly from December 2022 till December 2023, and probably still now as well, by HZ Guitars. I hadn't heard of HZ Guitars before, so I checked in with Lord Fuzzman, who I'd seen on Instagram had bought more than a few bodies from HZ Guitars, and when he said they were good quality and nice bodies, I was sold. So Over the next 7 months, I sold a ton of gear to raise the money. I saved up as much as I could, and I got as many parts of the build as possible bought for me as birthday or Christmas presents. But I didn't want to make things easy for myself, so as I mentioned at the top, I decided to convert this Jazzmaster body into a Jaguar. I know that might sound like a bit of a rogue decision, but for my small to medium hands, the 24-inch scale of a Jaguar or Mustang is so much more comfortable than a Jazzmaster. And since there's no other way to get a semi-hollow Paisley Jaguar body, I had no choice. So some of the nerdier ones of you right now might be wondering how you go about the process of converting the Jazzmaster to a Jaguar. But I don't want to get into that in too much detail in this video. The reason being is that I'm planning a whole series of videos to go through the process in detail in due course. It suffices to say that the conversion process does have some unique challenges, but with some careful planning, it is completely manageable. I'm planning maybe a 3 to 5 part series going through the process in quite a lot of detail, but it's quite a big task. I've got hours and hours of footage of me building this guitar. So if you are interested in that, please do let me know. Okay, so I imagine there's quite a few of you who are also wondering about the specs and the components of this build as well. And I am planning to do in-depth reviews of quite a lot of the components that I've bought and tried for the first time on this build, but I'll quickly run you through everything. So to start off, we have this very hollow, semi-hollow Jazzmaster body from Axetec Guitars. It is an alder body with a mahogany top, and it is hollow all under here, up here, under here, around here, and all under here as well. So it's almost like a center block hollow body guitar. It's really, really hollow. It's really interesting design actually. It has a poly Paisley finish that is very prone to scratching. It has the modern tremolo placement for a Jazzmaster, which is really useful for Jaguar conversion because it puts it more or less in exactly the same place where the tremolo placement is. And overall it's just a really, really nice body, really nicely finished. Beautiful, beautiful body design. For those of you wondering, the main differences between a Jag body and a Jazzmaster body is the tremolo and bridge placement, the cavity roots and control placement, and this horn shape. On the Jag, you have more of a cutout here at the top with a bit more upper fret axis for your thumb, a bit more of a deeper cutaway and a slightly sharper horn. The next piece I got was the Trent Guitars offset vibrato. This is a really, really nice vibrato. There will be a full review coming soon, and this is handmade in small batches in a workshop in the UK, and it's really, really cool. After that, I got this Ghost Custom Guitars anodized pickguard, and this is the smoothest pickguard I've ever felt. It's really, really nice and custom routed for mini humbuckers. After that, I got the pickups, and this is a really cool, unique custom set of mini humbuckers from Dave at Northern Pickups. And this set is designed to sit perfectly in the middle of a Jazzmaster and a Jaguar, both tonally and in terms of output as well. And again, I will be demoing this pickup set because it's really, really unique and the specs are really unusual, and they're just really, really cool. Dave absolutely smashed it with this pickup set. After that, I picked up these control plates from EY Guitars, and it is the American Professional style control plates in antique silver. Inspired by that Custom Shop Jazzmaster, I kind of wanted to have like a all metal pickguard thing going on, like the anodized guard on that Custom Shop guitar. And I also thought it would complement the brushed metal of the vibrato really nicely and the raw nickel covers. And I think it works really well. It kind of also complements the burst as well, where it's lighter silver in the middle and darker silver on the edges. I think that's really nice. The electronics are unusual. I wanted to do something a bit different. I wanted to try the three-way blade switch because I've never had that on a Jag before. And I wanted to also do something slightly different for the rhythm circuit. I thought maybe the mini humbuckers might be a bit dark sounding with the rhythm circuit. And I also wanted to retain something of the functionality of the strangle switch that you get on a Jag normally. So this switch is a 4-pole double throw switch from Switchcraft. And what it allows me to do is to throw both pickups at once into series or parallel. Now, I'm not talking about series and parallel in the middle position. What I'm talking about is each of the two coils of the humbuckers either being wired in series when the switch is down or parallel when the switch is up. What happens when you switch to parallel is that a lot of bass gets cut off, the output drops, and you get a really kind of percussive quality. It kind of sounds like a piezo pickup kind of thing in certain contexts. And it's just really nice for playing rhythm guitar, getting a bit less of a kind of chunky sound, a bit more of a percussive sound. I think it works really nicely. You do need a boost to get it to the same level as the pickups in series, but I think it's pretty cool. I kind of like it. Inspired by the Custom Shop Jazzmaster, I wanted a kind of maple style neck. And so I got in touch with Vic from Striker Custom Guitar Studios in Kiev, Ukraine. He makes these really cool necks out of wild Carpathian pearwood. Now, you probably haven't ever heard of a guitar neck being made out of pearwood before. But in the 1800s, pearwood was actually really common in European luthiery as an alternative to ebony. At the time, ebony was incredibly hard to come by and incredibly expensive in Europe. And pearwood actually shares a lot of similarities in terms of its characteristics with ebony. Pearwood has extremely dense pores and is incredibly smooth and hard, just like ebony. And in the 1800s, they would dye it black to look like ebony, and they used it for fretboards and things like that. Vic at Striker Guitar Studios felled and dried wild pear trees that grow high in the Carpathian Mountains. He says that the high altitude and low temperatures that the pear trees grow in the Carpathian Mountains mean that the pear trees there grow really, really slowly, and that this causes them to have less irregularities and to be more stable than other types of European pearwood. It sounds cool, I don't know if it's true, but it's a really beautiful neck, and he makes really cool custom necks that are really affordable. This is half the price of a Musicraft neck. or a Warmoth neck, just to put it into perspective. It has a skinny 60s profile that's really thin at the 1st fret and fattens out and gets quite chunky up at the 12th. It has a skinny nut width, a round fretboard radius, and it's finished all in nitro. It's really, really nice. The grain is really interesting as well. And it is a thin nitro finish that does chip and kind of wear very naturally and easily. Next, I got this cool headstock cap from Indra Guitars, again in the UK. They make really cool custom pickguards and headstock caps, and they make their own guitars too. And the work that they do there is just so cool. This is awesome. And I'm going to have another video, I expect, about Indra Guitars soon, because I'm expecting some more stuff from them that I've bought for my Mustang. And lastly, the bridge. This is the High Spirit Guitars bridge. If you haven't seen the video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, go and check it out. This is my all-time favourite offset guitar bridge. So, the question remains then, is this as good as a custom shop guitar, and is it the guitar of my dreams? Well, I've never even seen a custom shop guitar in real life before, so I can't really comment on that in any meaningful way, other than to say that most of the key components of this guitar are custom ordered or made in small batches by really top quality craftsmen and luthiers to an exceptionally high standard, which is effectively what you're getting when you order a custom shop guitar. But having never played one, I can't make a direct comparison. But is this my dream guitar then? Well, I really like this guitar. It is really me, and there is nothing else like it. It has a really unique kind of tonal signature that is completely different to any of my other offset guitars, yet it complements them really nicely. And it's especially fun for playing rhythm work on. The semi-hollow body gives it a really nice airy percussive sound. It's just really, really fun for that kind of thing. It has all of the specs exactly how I like them, and it's so personal to me. It's really resonant, it's really fun, and of course it's really eye-catching too. But there is just one problem with this guitar, and I don't really want to go into the details of that. This neck was built by Vic in Kiev with constant air raids and blackouts and long periods where he wasn't able to work in his workshop because of the war, and working in a situation that I can't even begin to imagine. All of that meant that this neck took much longer than Vic or I expected it to, and when it did arrive, it didn't quite come exactly how I was expecting. When I raised this with Vic, he immediately apologised profusely, offered to replace the neck, and asked me to send it back so that he could fix the issues with it and gift it to a boy in his village that he knew. However, this was the last piece I was waiting for, and it's quite a key part of the guitar, and I was just so impatient by then that I just wanted to get the guitar playing and working and get it in my hands. So I turned down his offer and just bolted the neck on. And in hindsight, that was a foolish decision, that was silly, and I obviously should have taken Vic up on that offer to get the issues with the neck repaired. So now I'm saving up to take it to a luthier in the UK to get those couple of issues fixed. And once that's been done, I think then I'll be able to really fully bond with this guitar and enjoy it to its full potential. Just for the sake of clarity, the first neck I bought from Vic was absolutely perfect, and I've just ordered my third neck from him, which I'm expecting to arrive any day now, and I'm sure that one will be perfect too. Okay, so there you go. That's been an introduction to my new guitar. I hope you found that interesting, and I hope it's answered some of the questions you had about this guitar for those of you who were asking about it in the last video. It's a really cool guitar. I'm hoping it's going to be fighting fit and absolutely perfect soon, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot more of it on the channel. I'm really looking forward to using it with my band as well and playing live with it and seeing how it holds up in that context. That's going to be really interesting and a lot of fun. If you have any questions about this guitar that I didn't cover in the video, or any questions about building a Jazzmaster or Jaguar out of parts, or the Jazzmaster-to-Jaguar conversion process, or anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll be more than happy to discuss that in as much detail as you like in the comment section. I'm planning on having demos of the pickups, the trem, the headstock cap, and also discussing Striker Custom Guitar Studio and the next they make in Ukraine as well. So I think that covers everything. Until next time, take it easy, look after yourself, and I'll see you again soon.